Hello YouTubers, and welcome to what is the first in a brand new series of reviews which shall be taking a look at movies. Yes, this is something that I've wanted to do for quite some time. I thought that now is the perfect time to do it, seeing as I want to expand my audience, I want to get new viewers in, and I thought what would be better than to do movie reviews. If this is the first video you are watching, my name is the Obsessed Tuvian 95. My real name is James Croft. I do all sorts of videos all about Doctor Who, hence why I'm called the Obsessed Tuvian 95, with Whovian being a big fan of Doctor Who. And I do the odd other thing like video game reviews. I've done them since the end of 2012, and I've done the odd vlog here and there, but I never actually delved into something different other than Doctor Who video game reviews. I've done a few Star Wars stuff, and I hope to do more stuff about that, but I've never done anything other than that. So now, hopefully, this is the start of a new series. Hopefully this does well, and I hope that my plan to get more viewers works. So my first ever movie review shall be taking a look at the 2013 film entitled Man of Steel. Now, Man of Steel, of course, is a superhero movie, and throughout the last decade we've had this trend, this popular trend of superhero movies, and more of them are getting made. There's at least one new one that gets made every year now, and it seems to be quite a popular trend. I think it all started when the first X-Men movies came out, and when the first Sam Raimi Spider-Man films came out in the early 2000s. In terms of Superman, he's not really had that many films for a long time, but Man of Steel is a reboot of the series. It stars Russell Crowe as Jor-El, and it also stars Michael Shannon as General Zod, the main villain, and it also stars Henry Cavill. I can't remember who he plays. Oh yeah, he plays Superman in the film. Yeah, I was only just messing around with you there. Henry Cavill is, of course, the main star of this film, unlike Christopher Reeve, because Henry Cavill gets top billing in this film, which is absolutely right. And unlike the original Superman film that came out in the late 70s, Christopher Reeve, who was Superman at that time, he only got the third billing after Marlon Brando and Gene Hackman, who played Jor-El and the main villain of that film, Lex Luthor. So that always confused me, but I'm glad they never took that route with this reboot, and it's quite rightly so, because Superman is the main character of the film. So what's this film all about? Well, it's like an origin story, really, about Superman. It obviously goes back to the beginning. On the planet Krypton, there is this war. Krypton is getting destroyed. It's about to implode, explode, whatever you want to say. Depends how you view the film. And Krypton is getting destroyed, and Kal-El, who is Superman, is a baby, and he gets sent off by Jor-El and his mother, and he gets sent off to the planet Earth, much to the dismay of this rebellion led by the evil General Zod, played wonderfully by Michael Shannon. I think Michael Shannon delivers a great performance as the villain. He doesn't ham it up, and I don't think that he's corny, unlike some of the villains that you saw in the earlier Superman movies. So that's a positive, right? Superman gets sent to Earth, and then he grows up with his human parents, the Kents. He grows up, he does all these jobs, he works at an oil rig and things like that. So he's just an everyday person, really, and he eventually becomes part of the editors at the Daily Planet, but you don't see that until the very, very end of the movie. The movie also stars Lawrence Fishburne as the head of the Daily Planet, as well as Amy Adams, who plays Lois Lane. And of course, we all know that Lois Lane is the main love interest for Superman in the comics and in the movies. And I think that in this film, Lois Lane is a bit annoying. Is that right? I don't know. There's something about Lois Lane I never really took to her in this film. I don't know whether it's Amy Adams' fault or whether it's just the way that she was written for this particular film. But aside from that, what else happens in the film? Well, Kal-El, who's adopted the human name of Clark Kent, he grows up, he lives a normal human life. Of course, he has all these superpowers, he has laser eyes and all this type of stuff. You know, he's Superman. Superman can do pretty much anything. He can fly, he can lift up buses, aeroplanes and things like that. And he goes out in search of where he comes from, his origins, and eventually he finds it in that ice place. And we've all seen this before. You know, we've seen this countless numbers of times in all the other older Superman films, and then he gets to know who his father is, and then he dons a suit. And I think, really, the movie gets going once Superman gets his suit and he flies away. I think that the film itself, I think it's a good sort of 10 to 20 minute opening on Krypton, and then it sort of slows down when you get Superman going to Earth as a kid. And I think one thing that they missed out with this is the fact that as soon as he hits Earth, it then jumps forward to when he's an adult, and it keeps going backward and forward, backward and forward. I would have liked to see him going out of the little pod that he's in when he got sent in, but you never actually see that. And I wanted to see, like, the first time that his parents meet this child that lands on their farm. I think that they missed something out there, and I don't know. It's just my opinion anyway. But it has been done before. I'll be fair and say it has been done before. They thought, well, a lot of the audience would probably have seen the original Superman movies starring Christopher Reeve. We don't really need to tell them the same thing over again. The film doesn't feel samey as those films, which is a positive, because one thing that I don't like with reboots is that most of the time they do the same thing over and over again. It's a bit like that with The Amazing Spider-Man that came out a year before this, starring Andrew Garfield as a younger Spider-Man. Bearing in mind that 10 years before that we got the original Spider-Man film by Sam Raimi, and most of The Amazing Spider-Man felt so much the same and if it was different, it wasn't as good. Whereas I feel with Man of Steel, it's been done differently, but the way that it was shot, the way that they made the film when it goes backwards and forwards for around the first hour of the film, I think that it was a good idea by the editors and by Zack Snyder, who directed this film. And I must say, the direction of this film is breathtaking. You've got all the visual effects in there, and obviously more up to date, a lot better than the visual effects that we saw in the original 4 Superman films that came out in the 70s and 80s, which is always a positive, especially compared to Superman 4, The Quest for Peace, where everyone at the time thought the special effects on that film were pretty much shambolic. And while Superman Returns are great special effects as well, I feel that this are really, really good special effects. And I feel that this film had quite a good story. Quite a few people don't seem to accept this as a Superman film, and I don't know why. Some people seem to prefer Superman Returns over Man of Steel, whereas in my honest opinion, I think that this is probably the best Superman to come out to date, probably, because it's a new reboot and it opens up new possibilities for this new franchise, and it opens up new possibilities for the whole of DC Comics as a whole, the DC film company, because if you look at Marvel with Iron Man, that spawned what is now a massive cinematic universe, which is being dubbed Marvel Cinematic Universe. And I feel that with this film, hopefully Man of Steel in a few years' time will be looked upon as the starting point, as you will, of the DC cinematic universe, something along those lines, because of course next year we are getting the sequel to this film, which is Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. The trailer came out last week. That was kind of one of the influences of why I wanted to review this film first, because I feel that this film, it was a fresh approach on Superman. It was a new approach to the character. He doesn't have the quiff in this film. He doesn't have his underpants on the wrong way round like all the other films that he's in. And it's more sort of, I wouldn't say human, but there's more character to him, I feel, in this. And I think that Cavill does a good performance. And I don't know whether it's my favourite superhero film of all time, but it's up there, I'd say. And as for Zod, he gets imprisoned by the Krypton people. He killed Jor-El after young Superman goes back to Earth, but eventually General Zod escapes this prison along with his comrades, and they know that Kal-El has gone to Earth, and they search for him. And after Kal-El tries to find out about his parents and things, then they obviously learn of this. Then they track him down on the planet Earth and they invade Earth. And I must say, when they invade Earth and you get the scene with the television screens going off, I feel that it is a really chilling scene. And I think that, again, Michael Shannon does a good performance. At first, when I heard about him being cast as a main villain, I wasn't so sure, but I think in the end it did a pretty good job. For me, the best parts of the film are towards the end. So, think of it as you will, the final half of the film. As soon as you see the reappearance of General Zod, you get to learn more about Superman's character, and you get to learn more about what Zod's motivations are, and he wants planet Earth to become the new Krypton because Krypton has been destroyed, and he wants Earth to be this new Krypton. So I think his motivations make sense, and I could see why he had those motivations, because his home planet is gone, he wants to build a new planet, and he sees the Earth people as inferior, and that's one of the bad things about his character, and that is why Superman has to stop him. And I love the explanation that was given, like how they struggle with the Earth's atmosphere upon their first arrival. They can't seem to cope with breathing and things like that, and that is how they all become super. That is why Kal-El becomes super, because compared to all the other people on the planet Earth, all the humans, he is a super person, if that ever makes sense. But if you watch the film, you understand why Superman has all these superpowers, and why people from Krypton in general, they all get these superpowers. That is why General Zod and all of the comrades that come with him, they all have superpowers, just like Superman does. And it's all to do with the Earth's atmosphere. One thing that this film lacked was kryptonite, and I think that the writers and the directors did a good job avoiding this, because, of course, kryptonite is Superman's main weakness, and I think if they introduced it, it would have been kind of introduced too early. So I'm kind of glad that they didn't introduce it, so early on in what is this new series of Superman films, which is good. But kryptonite will apparently return in Superman v Batman. Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, in some form or capacity, I believe. So I'll be looking forward to seeing the return of the kryptonite, the horrible green stuff we all know. So overall, the battle scenes towards the end are just brilliant, and some people complained that it was too long, it went on for too long. I thought that it was alright, in my opinion. I quite liked the action scenes. I thought the way that were done, the destruction of Metropolis, everything gets all smashed up and burned. I thought it was incredible. I loved the way that it was made. You get the sense that the planet Earth was in peril, all just because of a group of aliens from another planet land, and they're looking for Kal-El, because Kal-El is the seed of Krypton, and he is the first natural child to be born in centuries, because on Krypton all the babies sort of get grown, they're like plants. So it's a very good explanation as to why they're after Kal-El, and they want to kill him. They kill him so they can make this new Krypton by planting this new seed that is inside Superman. So the end scenes, the final battle scenes are great, and I think that Superman killing General Zod at the very, very end, I think that the killing scene, a lot of people seem to say that's out of character for Superman. I didn't think it was all that bad, to be honest. He had every reason to kill General Zod, in my opinion, by breaking his neck, because he was about to kill some innocent civilians that were trying to run away for their life. So Superman had no choice. He had to break his neck and kill him. So I've no problem with that, to be honest. If I had some main negatives about this film, it would be probably the relationship between Lois Lane and Superman, because I don't know, it just felt sort of rushed in my opinion, and I don't know, it just felt forced. That's probably my own main gripe about this film, to be honest, if I'm completely honest with you, because every time I see it I think, yeah, it's rushed, and I hope they develop it more in the future Superman films. But for now, with Man of Steel, I felt that the relationship between Superman and Lois Lane, I don't know, it just felt forced and rushed, and it just didn't feel natural. You know, it was just like Anakin Skywalker and Padme Amidala in the prequel films, and the less said about that, the better. Because I tell you something, the Star Wars prequels, there was so much stuff wrong with that. But hopefully I'll get the opportunity to talk more in depth about that when I go on to review all the Star Wars films, whenever that will be. In conclusion, I think that Man of Steel is a worthy reboot to the franchise. I don't think it is the best reboot in the world. I think there have been better reboots that have been made, but I think that it is a very good reboot nevertheless. I think that Man of Steel is underrated. It deserves more recognition, and I feel that future Superman films will be more successful, and I think in a few years' time people might look back on this and regard this as a great film. So overall, what would I give Man of Steel? I'd probably give this film a 8.5 out of 10, because while you've got the great visual effects, you've got great music, which was composed by Hans Zimmer as well, although nothing can beat the John Williams main theme. Nothing can, because I think that is the most iconic Superman theme. I don't think anything can beat it, to be honest. That's my opinion anyway. Some of you may disagree with me. And I feel that the story was good. I thought that there was great characters. The character I probably didn't like was Lois Lane. I don't know whether it's Amy Adams' fault. I know that Amy Adams is a great actress. She's been in some great films. She can act. But I don't know. I feel that Lois Lane is one of the negatives. I feel that her character and Clark Kent / Superman's relationship, I don't know. It didn't feel natural to me, but that's my honest opinion. Some of you may disagree with me, but if you do, you can comment below. That's why you have the comment system. So yeah, 8.5 out of 10. Great action scenes. I think it's a great story. You got a great villain played by Michael Shannon. Great supporting characters, and I think Henry Cavill is a great Superman as well. So, and I think he's been well cast, because I don't know, I felt that Brandon Routh was miscast as Superman for Superman Returns in 2006, but I think that Cavill, he brings gravitas to the role. He's also British as well, and Superman talks with an American accent, so double points to him there. So yeah, that is my review of Man of Steel. That is my first movie review out the way. I hope that this video does well, so I can make more and more of these new types of videos. And if you liked this, then please leave a like, and please feel free to comment below and give me your thoughts on this film. And you can also do requests. You can put requests down in the comments for what you would like me to review in terms of films in the future. So I hope you're having a great day, and until next time, everybody, cheerio. Don't forget to click the link below to subscribe to me, James Croft, aka the Obsesstuvian 95. Have a great day.